Hello to all my American Horror Story historians. I am so glad to say that again. Yes, welcome to my channel, and we have a brand new video. American Horror Stories Season 2 has begun, and we're going to jump into Episode 1, Dollhouse. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining me again for another season of American Horror Stories. We know that first one was a bit of an interesting ride, but this one is off to a good start. I was really impressed with this first episode. It feels like the production value, the storytelling, the acting, the special effects, honestly, everything involved feels upgraded. It feels a bit better this go around, and I am so happy about that. I'm also happy to be in my brand new setting. It looks a bit like the last one, but there are some minor changes, and this will be changing throughout the journey of this new kind of style on this channel. I'm just really happy to be here, really happy to be up this late talking about American Horror Stories. I was intrigued by the premise of this one. We'll get into the full nitty-gritty of what happens, and we'll kind of go throughout the episode. But for a premiere, this was a good launching point. It has connections to the main American Horror Story universe. It has its own original vibe, but it's also very inspired. It feels like I've seen something like this before, and I don't even mean that like in a shady way. It just felt familiar. It felt like a good classic horror story. I've been wanting something like this from American Horror Stories the entire time. I wanted to have some minor connections. Don't go too crazy. I don't need to see that murder house ever again, but I do like that they tried something a bit different with this one. They tried to do their own original path, but keep it grounded to the AHS world. That's exactly, I think, what all the fans wanted. So I think we should be all kind of in agreement that this was a surprisingly solid start. It could always get a little wonky as we go through, but thankfully it's one episode, kind of a story, and we can leave it behind. We did that last season. Like, sometimes we liked a story, sometimes we didn't like a story. With this one, I know we're going to have a similar vibe, but if this beginning is anything like what we're to expect for the rest of the season, we're in for a damn good ride. The episode begins and Miss Colby is going on a job interview. This job interview is with Dennis O'Hare's Van Wagner character, Van Wigner, I don't know what his name was, but the creepy doll man. Yeah, Dennis O'Hare is playing a creepy doll dude, and he's interviewing Colby for a job as a secretary. But that's not what he wants her for. He takes this opportunity to kidnap her and thrust her into his dollhouse. It is a living kind of dollhouse where he's kidnapped other girls, and they have to play a role. They all have to kind of live a very nice 1950s, 1960s housewife life because he's looking for a new mother for his child, Otis. Yes, the Dennis O'Hare toy maker says, you know what, I'm going to find a mother because the last one I had turned out to be a cheating whore, which, you know, if it's with you, I can see why. Psychopath. Oh, his character was so gross, so creepy. I really like Dennis O'Hare this whole episode. He was very classic, what we like about Dennis O'Hare, but also this was a new kind of twist for him. I've never really seen him play evil just like this. Maybe a little bit in Freak Show, I think, is the one I think he's the evilest in, but I really liked what he presented as an actor here. I like as soon as we get to his dollhouse, his acting is just so pretentious, so gross. Like, oh my god, he was such a delight. So Colby is now here with a bunch of other girls, and she has to try to make do. She has to do these tasks, these little tests, a little pageant to find the mother role. She is obviously scared, but kind of warms up to what she needs to do really quickly. I will give Colby credit. She says, this is the scenario. I'm going to try to stay calm. I'm going to figure this the hell out. And she did. By the end of it, I was just like, this is what I'm talking about, sis. I was kind of worried that all of these were going to be tragic, sad endings. And we were getting to the end of this episode, and I'm like, oh man, is this going to be depressing? Every episode is just like, and here's the sad, womp womp. No, this actually had a very uplifting ending. We're not there yet, but I was really happy to see Miss Colby fight her ass off. And then she became a clown in the middle of this episode, and I have to realize I am terrified of clowns. You see them down there? Not my thing. In order to stay in this dollhouse and not deal with anything, they have to put on a costume. So Colby becomes Colby the clown, and they start having tests. We see the young boy Otis start coming over, and we start seeing what we have to do to win him over, basically. Like, not just him, we have to win over the dad. So the dad has the test, like, you have to like set a little dinner scene very correctly. If not, you get thrown into the evil wishing well, basically. And we also have to like iron something. If you don't iron it right, you get stabbed a bunch of times and probably thrown into the wishing well again. Yeah, I was just like, oh my goodness. But we see Colby start manipulating, or at least trying to work over the little boy, and she's just trying to be like, okay, what can we do? And she decides to show him she has a special talent. She can move things with her mind. Now, I didn't instantly jump to where the ending of this episode went, but I was just like, ooh, a telepath. What could we be doing that? Is that going to be part of her epic escape? It sadly wasn't really there because her escape was kind of thwarted by just the horrible maid girl that was there. I forgot her name. I am like watching this at midnight, so it's hard for me to retain everybody's names, but I don't know. She was gone. She was a horrible person. That little maid chick, she really thought she was going to like Stockholm syndrome herself. Like, but I have to be the mother. Like, girl, nothing was good. Colby kept being like, you really think this is the outcome? Like, yeah, sure, you could probably deal with Otis, but you have to deal with Papa Toymaker. Girl, what? Like, I was just like, she really thought, like, there's always that one in that scenario who, like, is just like, I have to get through the scenario, so I'm going to do it exactly what they say. And I'm like, girl, no matter what, you were going to lose. And we even saw when Colby did well, she still had a losing strategy at the end, or losing kind of moment. I was just like, oh, wow, let's get to the ending part, because that's where things pick up a bit more. So with 3 dolls remaining, they set up a plan where they kind of dress up actual mannequins in their doll outfits to distract the evil toy maker Dennis O'Hare, and it works for a second until they basically get screwed over. Like, 2 of them get shot in the head, that horrible maid one that I'm just like, girl, wow, being good at setting a table really got you so far. Anyway, so yeah, but Colby decides, I can't just escape. I have to go save Otis, which turns out to be the good and the bad thing. She goes to save Otis. She wants to be his new mom. He turns out to kind of be evil still, or at least under the influence of his father. They press her into porcelain and they make her a living doll. And I'm just like, oh, wow, what a depressing ass ending that she has to live in porcelain and live this life as a horribly creepy doll. But wait, there is these 2 women who invade the dollhouse and basically just say, you 2 are over, let's save you, Colby. You've been trying to do a spell, but they've been weak. And I'm like, spell? Nani? Like, what are we talking about? So she lights Dennis O'Hare and his little bodyguard on fire. The witches do that, and they save Colby. They bring Otis along, and we find out that they're witches. Not only any witches, but connected to the Coven universe. Oh my goodness. And I thought that was going to be it. I heard the little da 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 da, and I was just like, fine, what a fun little ending. Oh my god, they're going to the school. Oh my god, they're going to the school. Oh, we find out Otis's middle name is Spalding. Oh, I forget we're in 1961, so we're a bit of a period piece here. Oh my god, a baby Myrtle Snow? Like, yo, I was shook by this ending. It was exactly the type of fan service I wanted to see, because it gave me, I don't know, y'all really predicted the Spalding thing in the comments of my reaction video, so y'all, congratulations to anyone who predicted it. I think everyone thought Dennis O'Hare would be, but it ended up being his son, which, hilarious because of the Coven, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was really amazed by this ending, finding out that he's Spalding, seeing the witches, seeing little, like a young Myrtle Snow. I was so impressed with this ending. This whole episode was kind of creepy. I thought it was very well done, very good premise. And then with the added witch twist, I was really shook by this. I was happy how this ended, where it went, that it was somewhat of a positive ending. Because I do think the first American Horror Stories, a lot of them ended very depressingly sad. Like, wow, the life sucks. And I'm like, Fine, okay, sure, but this one says, you know what, life can suck, but you can find ways around it, and we'll just send your creepy new adopted son to a school of witches, which is going to show him get his tongue cut out, and he's going to have a horrible life there, but we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about this positive moment here. What a good ending. What a good surprise. With the first episode of American Horror Stories in the bag, I am so impressed. I am so happy. I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I did. It's so good to be back talking about American Horror Story. But also, when it's this good, I am just happy. This could just be the one good episode of American Horror Stories we get this whole season 2, and I would be happy with that. It was good, thrilling, scary, creepy, had connections to AHS. It really checked off all the boxes I wanted. I can't wait to see like Alicia Silverstone and Dominique Jackson, Gabrielle Sidibe, Bella Thorne. I can't wait to see them later on in other episodes to see what they can add, but with this first one to kick things off, this was exactly what I wanted. What did you all think of Dollhouse? What do you think of the premiere of American Horror Stories? Are you down for this ride? Are you intrigued by it? If you are, let me know what you think, because I think we're going to be in for a good time this season. All right, share your feelings down in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. And let's talk about American Horror Stories.